So, there I was, scrolling through my list of Genesis ROMs, completely bored out of my mind. And I saw the name Hercules. I decided to give it a shot, damn well knowing it was going to be a horrible bootleg, which would probably bring me some laughs for the night. Well, I'm glad to say I was dead wrong. Aside from a simple title screen change, the game was actually really good. But what's the real name? It was time to hunt this game's name down. I took a screenshot and I sent it to Westapo to see if he knew, but he was unsure. So I reverse Google searched the image and came back empty-handed. After I snapped a few more shots and searched a little bit more, I came back with the result. The name of the game was Dahna, Megami Tanjou, or Dahna, Goddess's Birth. Now, the next question was, how could this have slipped so far into Sega's obscurity that I haven't even heard of it myself? To put it bluntly, it was never released outside of Japan, and of all places, South Korea. For reasons which I can only speculate on because there's very little information about this release. The company IGS, or Informational Global Services, developed and published a small number of titles across 6 different consoles, including the Game Boy, the Famicom, and the Nintendo, the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo and Super Famicom, TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine, and the PC Engine CD. But one of their other most notable games is a little game called Armadillo on the Famicom. The game encompasses a similar bubbly look to Super Mario Bros. 3, but you dispatch enemies and gain momentum by rolling into a ball. It's actually a ton of fun. The stages are cleverly designed around the mechanics. At the end of each stage, hitting one of these mushrooms will earn a certain amount of points. Then Armadillo walks off screen? He jumps into the air and then breaks into smaller versions of himself? Armadillo also implements a familiar stage select. Oddly enough, area bosses free roam on the map. The first boss was simple enough, you just jump at him while avoiding his Uzi fire. Is that a lizard wearing a suit, armed with an Uzi? This game just gets really weird. After you defeat the boss, you get on a plane to fly to the next area. What in the hell is even going on here? This game is strange, and with the small taste that I got to record this footage for the video, I definitely want to go back to finishing it. But yeah, obviously we got way off topic. After doing my research on the company, the rabbit hole went a little bit deeper than I thought, and I kind of let it go deep, so it's nice to make sexual references while you're doing a video. So yeah, let's jump right back into the review for Dahna, Megami Tanjou. A wealthy family was traveling the countryside with their daughters, who were born with mystical powers. The wagon was ambushed and the parents were killed. The older sister, Regine, was kidnapped. Dahna was fortunate enough to remain hidden in the wreckage. Later, she was adopted by a powerful magician named Midge? We'll call him Midge. Midge trained her in the art of magic so she can rid the land of evil. Midge gets kidnapped and Dahna sets off with vengeance in mind. You gain control of the main protagonist as she comes in riding on the back of an ogre. Every hit delivered turns enemies into a streak of blood and decimates them in the process. After a small introduction, we have a run-in with the evil sorceress, who makes the ogre vanish from below you. Then we have to fight a troll and an imp before entering the burning building. Avoiding these leaping psychos, we use the high jump ability to push through the fire and flames. After doing battle with some of these masochistic magi who don't care about dying in the building that's clearly burning, you exit the doorway and descend from the towering blaze. And now we have to fight a knight on a horse. Keeping vigilant, we defeat him by doing a down stab and jumping at him. And that's just the opening to the game. Thankfully, you have a range of attacks such as the down and up stab, which can be used in conjunction with the high jump that I was talking about earlier. The combat in this game feels very fluid, much like a 2D version of Golden Axe would play. Dahna's health, experience, and magic are displayed at the bottom of the screen. Both health and magic can be replenished when you slay one of the mages, and only they drop the orbs. So I highly suggest keeping your eyes peeled for them. To be honest, you'll want to kill everything you can. The more experience you gain, the health bar will start to increase in size. It doesn't add too much to the game, but it helps just enough to get you through it. Again, the magic meter functions much like the one in Golden Axe. The more you have, the stronger the spell. The first level throws out a barrage of fireballs, filling the screen, but there was never a time that my magic bar was low enough to use it. That's because the second spell shrouds the screen with fog, making Dahna invulnerable to attacks, including bosses. If you do manage to fill the bar to the third section, it will rain fire, dealing damage to everything on the screen. That's no fun though. You want to hack them up while they can't even touch you. With great 2D games comes platforming, and this game has more than enough of it to go around. The areas where you have to ascend buildings can be easy enough, but if you see death pits, leap with caution. One death equals one continue. That's right, there isn't a live system in place here. Talk about artificial lengthening. As I said earlier, you can ride the shoulders of a raging ogre bashing everything in your path. That's not the only mythical beast though. You can tame and soar through the sky on a griffin. It's a short stage, but it plays like a shooter. And yet another will have you riding the back of a horse downhill avoiding boulders. This section is trial by fire. Taking too many hits, you'll have to start all over, and the timing to leap over the boulders can be really annoying. The game sports that familiar Sega medieval fantasy look. Hell, Dahna even looks like Tyrus Flare from Golden Axe. Alright, so with the inclusion of magic, experience, a list of unique bosses, and just a ton of really crazy different scenarios you don't see in many other games, this was a ton of fun to play through, and I really enjoyed it. It was super challenging right down to the very end of the game. Now the question is, do you buy it? Do you try to go out, hop on eBay, and try to find a legit copy of this? I couldn't really suggest it. I would say either emulate it or repro it. And the only reason is because the price. It's like $150 upwards or something like that because of its, exclusiveness to those two regions, Japan and was it South Korea I said earlier? Yeah, South Korea. But yeah. So I suggest emulating it, repro it, throw it on a friggin' flash card if you have it. I definitely suggest trying the game now, though. Yeah, that's really it. It was definitely a shock to come upon something like that I haven't seen before, especially with how deep into the Sega Genesis library I go. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. I'm Rewind Mike, and I'll catch you next time.